Thank you everyone for being here. I'm one of your hosts this evening, Karina Stewart. And we're going to get started with welcome everyone to Liquid Light Miami. Thank you for being here.
I can't believe it. It's so beautiful to see all of your beautiful faces, and we did it.
We did it! Listen guys, I don't know if you're aware, but we didn't know we were doing this event until Monday. And all of you were here. How cool. It's amazing. So, you're going to discover tonight, if you aren't already a part of our Liquid Light community, the power of liquid light. We call it Lume Vitae, the light of life. We're living in a time right now where I think many of us can feel that there's an energy, there's a consciousness, there's a light that is calling us in to something higher, to be more, to create more abundance, to lead higher, to serve more, to impact more. How many of you feel that? Yes. How many of you are here because you feel that? So what we've created for you, my co-host Colette and I, what we've created for you tonight is some amazing human beings that are here. We've got Regan and Wampa, Carrie Drinkwine, Taryn Lee, and many others that you're going to hear from, to really share an origin story. A story of how liquid light has come to planet Earth. And how this liquid light is not only transforming our personal lives, but I believe changing the world. You're going to hear the vision. You're going to hear about the power of a community that has come together to bring this liquid light to the world. You're going to hear about science, molecular hydrogen, and what many of us believe as a tipping point. Not only of the light, but in our health, in our wealth, and in our leadership to make a difference on this planet. So, without further ado, so Colette, thank you so much.
Speaking to you, and I definitely felt that when I was approached about this beautiful community back in July. I had actually just finished a large Biohacking Expo, and I was at lunch and someone was like, "You have to come on board this new journey that I'm on. It's all about molecular hydrogen frequencies." I was like, "Say less, say less." And then I found out who was involved: Taryn Lee, Carrie Drinkwine, Regan and Wampa, and Karina. And I was like, "Wow, those are some big people." And I had already been mentored by Taryn for about 4 years. It's actually 4 years last February, 4 years February, that I met her on the beach in Hollywood. And when I met her, I was like, this is a woman who is standing in her feminine power, and she is here. She's going to be changing people's lives. like, and she really, truly has. In the 4 years I've known Taryn, she has built a beautiful global community. She has impacted so many people's health journeys, as well as people's financial freedom, and living lives where they can stand up and speak their truths and live in the most beautiful ways that they want. So I'm really excited that she's here and you all get to hear from her. So I'm going to welcome Taryn Lee.
Thank you. Wow. As Connie said, we didn't even know a week ago that we were even going to have this incredible event, and here we all are. Oh, that's me. Oh, that's me in the desert. But this is why we're really here. The one thing that I hope that you really take away from tonight's session, and I know you're going to learn so much, because we have some of the rock stars of the Vitae right here. And so I know that there's going to be a lot of downloads, you're going to get a lot of information. But what I hope that you truly do take away from here is that we are not just creating a company. We really are creating a revolution. A revolution of a new way to be. A new way to create health and well-being. A new way to create wealth and freedom and abundance. And a lot of this is tapped in from ancient wisdom that we're bringing into today. I hope you know that we are building a conscious company. And that's just not sweet words that we're saying. We're building this because we truly do believe that we are going to be an example of how you actually create in true consciousness. In actually bringing to you the best education that we can. In bringing to you the best products that we can. The best products because we own all of the facilities that create them. Nuno Nina, who you're going to hear about a little bit later, handcrafts every single product that we bring to the world. This is not some flash in the pan. This is not some white label. This is true pouring our absolute heart, all of our wisdom, all of our gifts, all of our knowledge into this. So I hope the main thing when you leave here is you know a little bit more about molecular hydrogen, you get a little more inspired about freedom, but you know that you're on this journey with us, should you choose to be, to truly create a conscious company, to truly create a new way. I'm going to take you, who's got the time for you? I'm going to take you on a very quick journey of how this all began. And the one thing I will say about Luna Vitae, it's definitely a weaving of science and magic. Wrong way. For those of you that don't know me, there's one thing maybe you should know. I'm completely divinely led. Probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a very bad health scare. It popped up again not too long ago, but a very bad health scare that put me in this space where I decided, okay, the rest of my life now is just bonus. I'm going to be completely surrendered to whatever you want me to do. And along that journey, I've had different steps that I know have created to bring me right here. So it was about 18 months ago when I was working in another project. Another project actually that I thought was how I was going to leave my legacy. How I thought we were going to create this amazing conscious company, we were going to do this new way, we were going to really prove to the world something really magical, something really special. And then about 18 months ago, I kept getting this nudge. I kept getting this kind of feeling, hang on, I don't think I'm quite on the right path. And then one day, about September 2022, I was at a conference in Madrid. And I woke up and I had this dreaded feeling. Have you ever been in a relationship and you've woken up one day and you realized you're just not in love anymore? Well, this happened in Madrid. And I woke up feeling like, oh my gosh, this is not it. And honestly, I couldn't pop everybody. And I really myself was having a really hard time grappling with that. Because I thought, I'm living really quite comfortably. And I've done a lot of hard work to create this. Why are you giving me this nudge now? So anyway, back in Madrid, I'm literally feeling heartbroken walking around Madrid and thinking, what am I going to do now? Because I know one thing about me. I can't show up in my full greatness and my full gifts if I'm not actually madly in love with the things that I'm doing. But interestingly enough, that afternoon, I walk into the room, into the conference room, and I see over the back this gentleman. Now, this gentleman actually worked in the same company as me. And in fact, it was probably half a dozen, if not a dozen times that we were meant to meet up, but it just never happened. And so I thought, right, I have to find a way to get myself back in love with this project. So I marched over there, tapped him on the shoulder. He turned around and he looked at me and he was like, smile first. And then he had this kind of odd look on his face. And I thought, oh my goodness, I have like disturbed him. And he looked at me for like 15 seconds. And then he said, you're here. You're the one. And I thought for a moment, what does he mean by that? I'm the one that also lives in Lisbon. I'm the one that, yes, is helping him build this company. I didn't really know what he meant. I do now, because he's told me what it means. He handed me his phone and he said, look, we've got to meet up. So I go to his clinic, I walk through the door, and he tells me all of these incredible things about me. As I'm walking through, he says, you've got pain right here, you've got another pain right there, you have pain here too, right? And I was like, yeah, I do. Did I just walk through some MRI machine or something? I was like, how do you know that? And then he proceeded to tell me the reason I can create frequency, the reason I can see frequency, is because, the reason I know how to create frequency is because I can literally see frequency. I can see this color generating off here that has blockage. I can see right now you have something right here. I can see that your hip is hurting. I can see that something happened to you when you were 18 that changed your destiny. I can see that something happened to you at 34 that also changed your destiny. And as he was saying all these things, I was thinking, what the heck? This was Nuno Miller. The genius, the creator. It's hard to even describe him. I know Rita Moncro are going to give you a shot and then Nuno again. But it was this meeting with Nuno, I was wanting to learn a lot more about frequency, and he was wanting to tell me a lot more about molecular hydrogen. See, the thing is, he's had over 70,000 people pass through his clinic. He sees everyone from people that are terminally ill to the elite athletes. And the one thing that he kept saying to me is, yes, frequency is amazing. Yes, these supplements are amazing. But unless you have a hydrated body, unless you have molecular hydrogen, it doesn't really matter what we're really doing. You really need to get molecular hydrogen in your body. And so he took me on this journey about understanding molecular hydrogen a lot more deeply. I didn't actually know that much about it. Even though it's the first atom on the periodic table, even though it's the very first molecule that actually created everything in the universe, even though it's the molecule that is literally the blueprint to life, I actually didn't know that much about it. Then he handed me his pouch. And I was like, cool, what's that? And it's like, this pouch is 5 years old. And we tested it. It's like, it's still got molecular hydrogen in it. Now, for those of you that don't know much about molecular hydrogen, molecular hydrogen, being the smallest molecule in the world, is also the sneakiest molecule in the world. It's able to get out of everything and anything. It's one of the reasons why molecular hydrogen isn't as well known as you would think so. If you're able to do everything, if you're this incredible molecule, you'd be expecting it to be on the shelves everywhere if it's able to do what we know it can do. But the thing is, it's very hard to contain. And so Nuno had found a way to contain this incredible molecular hydrogen in this little pouch. And he said to me, you know what I would love? I know that you've got all of these conscious communities. I know you're sort of tapped in and traveling all over the world. But I have this amazing product that I want to get out to the world. But the thing is, I needed a massive investment because I have this huge buy order that I can't fulfill unless I have a massive upgrade to the factory. So I was like, cool, you've got this incredible product, I can go out there and find you a conscious investor. Now, interestingly enough, at that point in time, shortly after, I actually ended up in hospital. See, from the moment I tapped on Winfrey's shoulder, which is something I don't actually often share, oh my gosh, I don't get 5 or 4 minutes, that I don't often share, is that from September to April, I suffered with 16 mini strokes and 1 minor stroke. And none of my doctors knew why. I had access to the best doctors, the best neuroscientists, the best cardiologists, the best of everything that Europe could have to offer. And they had absolutely no idea why I was having these weird episodes that were ultimately ending in a stroke. I was in lay in hospital and I said to Nuno, what's going on? Like, what can you see? He said, get out of there and let me give you a ventilator and molecular hydrogen water. And from that point on, I had not had a single stroke. My doctors had absolutely no idea where they came from, and they had no idea how they stopped. All I know is I started taking molecular hydrogen, and they stopped. I guess that was when I had this moment, this kind of aha moment, that my path was about to change. I realized now, like, molecular hydrogen was so incredible. And so I went to him, right, and I said, you know that investor that you're looking for? What about if it was me? What if I invest in you? What if me and my incredible community come and invest with you? And that's what started our journey with Luma Vitae. We saw all of these incredible products that he had in his clinic. Like, it's literally a labyrinth of incredible things that he's able to download. And I brought to him and I said to him, you've got this amazing water bottle that you give to every single one of your patients. And this water bottle was not designed to actually go to market. This water bottle was actually designed for his clients. And so that was the beginning of Luma Vitae, of creating this incredible company where all of you are part of that. Where all of you are part of helping us educate the world around molecular hydrogen, creating communities, creating connection, bringing incredible products to the world. And as we do so, we're also going to be funding part of Nuno's dream to bring molecular hydrogen to every single person in the world. And when we do that, we will also share the products back, the profits back to you. But another part of the journey, on this divinely led little journey I seem to be on, is after that, I then thought, okay, so I've got this great idea, we're going to help Nuno fund this amazing project, and we're going to share the profits back, we're going to create this conscious company, it's going to be amazing. But now we're getting my community involved. And it was one day in June in Portugal, I was on a boat, and Miss Regan Elliott was sitting there with me. And she said to me, Taryn, I've got something to tell you. And I was thinking to myself, Regan, I've got something to tell you. But she said, I've been having these incredible downloads. They're $1 billion codes. They're $1 billion codes to make a massive impact in the world, and I don't know why. They keep downloading and you're part of it. Ready? So on the boat there, Regan was telling me all about these amazing downloads. And then later I said to her, Regan, I've also got something to share with you. And so then I was like, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. And I started telling her about Luma Vitae. I started telling her about Nuno's products. I started telling her about the vision that I had to be able to create a $1 billion conscious company and share the profits back to the community. And she was like, I'm all on board. So, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So before I got to the boat earlier that morning, I was in my morning daily practice, my activation, and I I was connecting into the frequency of universal abundance. And what happened was, visually, I started seeing this template within the system, this cluster of information, if you like. It was so beautiful. It was something unlike I'd seen before. It was crystalline in its nature. It was shiny, it was magnificent. And so I started asking my guidance, what is this? And it was very clear. It was like, this is a codex of $1 billion mission. And I was like, okay, why is it being shown to me? What is this about? And then it was very evident and very clear from the next layer of guidance, my next step, because Taryn's face just kept appearing. And I was like, okay, what has this got to do with Taryn? Now, I've known Taryn for probably about 12 years or so, and we've been friends for that long, we've been in different missions and different layers for so many years. And I thought, okay, well, I guess I should maybe tell this to Taryn. And then there was this piece of the guidance where it was so clear. It was like, look, this is $1 billion template which can be activated through humanity. And the ripple and the wave of that impact and the service and the contribution is grand, it's massive, it's huge. It's like this, it looked like this wave that was rippling through my consciousness. And I got shown through this structure in the energetic field that anyone who started to tap into this wealth was going to be distributed in this very special and unique way that the planet just hasn't seen before. And so I kind of gathered all these pieces, and we're on the boat having a great time. I'm like, Taryn, I need to tell you about this little vision I've been having, and this is what happened, and this is what it involves. And Taryn's like, well, actually, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, which was incredible because of course Regan was immediately a full yes. She was like, absolutely. And that's where Regan ended up becoming my very first crystal founder. See, I have surrounded with me incredible heart-led leaders that I know are also have the same vision, have the same mission, are really wanting to create something incredibly special. Something that I promise you the world hasn't yet seen. Because what we're doing is breaking old paradigms and moving into the new way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I know you're going to talk a little bit more about your why with your gorgeous Wampa. Wampa, do you want to jump up?
He's filming. Okay, he's walking towards us, filming us. He's filming you guys now. Everyone say, look at me.
You caught me right on time.
Welcome to the stage. Beautiful Wampa, holding this divine masculine energy that he does in your gorgeous leadership. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm sure they're going to want to know all about your why.
Amazing. Yes.
So, let's see.
You know, we're busy people. For those of you who don't know us, we have a lot going on in our lives. We have a beautiful, huge project in Costa Rica. We run multiple different companies that are all impact-driven and very heart-led and service-led. So we're not really just lying around being like, how should we spend our time? And then when something like this comes along, for us to say yes to this and contribute time, energy, and resources into a mission and a project like this, there needs to be something very special behind it. There needs to be a click with what's actually happening on the evolution of the planet for us to be in vibrational resonance to say, okay, yeah, because we're not half in, half out people. We're a little intense. We're either not in or we're in with every part of our being. So for those of you who haven't met us before, we are obsessed with helping raise the vibrational frequency of this planet. We are obsessed with leaving this planet better than how we found it. And we are obsessed with doing that with people that we love and adore so deeply on this planet. Because this world is going through such a shift right now, and everyone is aware of that. We're seeing the planet shift and change and evolve at such a rapid speed. And we get to make sure, as conscious leaders, that we're actually supporting that shift, that we're helping our planet move in the right directions. There are many choice points right now, and many opportunities to not do good on this planet. So we are responsible for actually supporting this new earth and supporting this new earth impact, right?
Yeah, it's happening, right? We can feel it. It's upgrading. Energy in the earth is, if you measure the Schumann frequency, you can see it's off the top. And it's never happened this in 2,000 years until now. And now it's going up to 120, right? It's very profound what's going on, and this is impacting our nervous systems. This is impacting our body, our mind, our emotions, our energies, our relationships. And or we get on the ship and we fly together, or we're gonna get devastated by what's going on because the energy is so strong. And this is what's happening. We're having a little separation here, where the ones that are working on themselves, upgrading their nervous systems and their lives, are thriving, and you can see it. You guys look like you're on the ship, right?
You're doing
pretty good.
Not like in this room.
I feel amazing, like we're letting go of all these old paradigms, old programming that has been set in humanity. And we're allowing this energy that's coming through the earth, through the stars, through the biophotonic energy that's impacting the planet more and more, we're allowing it to transform us. So this impact that we're talking about is a vortex of energy that's happening, wanted or not wanted. So we can choose to say, okay, I'm in the ship, let me upgrade myself. And that's where we say we are coming on this together. And the more we tap into our soul, and we tap into our purpose, our deep purpose, whoever is tapped into the deepest purpose right now, is aligned to some kind of project, some kind of vortex or energy or community where we are celebrating these new goals and frequencies coming from to the earth. Like there's no other way. Or we're caught up in our little egos and making money from this place of, I need and I'm gonna get there, pushing and struggling and fighting, or I'm surrendered manifestation, allowing this feminine energy to guide us, to transform us, to soften us a little bit, so we can receive, because what's coming is not available to the mind, to the rationality. So for me as a man, I can say it's been a lot of work and humble down and allow the goddesses to kind of lead the way and just kind of, okay, I receive, and then allowing the goddess to lead the way to, for me, it's like allowing my inner goddess, my inner feminine, to open up, to open my heart, to release all this stuff that I was carrying around my heart. So what better way than with a technology that is actually traveling through water, which is the most feminine element we find, to allow it to enter every cell of our being and wake up, because it's pure light what's happening. Wake up the light, or remind us the light that we are. And this is why we're bringing the new earth, we're embodying together the new earth right here, right now.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So as we go through this new earth impact, as our planet shifts and upgrades and transforms and ascends, we are not separate from that. And every layer of our being, and every element, and every aspect of our life is also not separate from that. We're all one, we're all connected. So, just as we're seeing this wave of impact through the planet, we're also seeing this new wave of wealth. And one of the other things that we're also very obsessed with is helping get financial resources into the hands and the hearts of the people that are actually going to change this planet.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so when we started looking at this, and we went from that conversation of the boat, and we started getting into some details and peeling back the layers, we both looked at this and we said, we have never seen this done this way. We have never seen the architecture of $1 billion mission that gets to be actually distributed into the hands and the hearts of the people that really care about shifting this planet, that really care about getting people's level of health and frequency and vibration to a whole new place. We have never seen this. And this was so cool, and this was so exciting, because we saw this and we said, yeah, the planet needs to know about this. And we'll talk a little bit about Uno and some elements on hydrogen in a minute, but this was a big piece for us. It became a no-brainer. right? Because we just started to see the ripple of the financial impact which can take place, because we both know that there's amazing, powerful, heart-centered, conscious people that really care about this planet. We know that if they had the financial resources to actually make and allow their dreams to come true into fruition, this world is going to be just such a better place, right?
Yep.
Yes?
Yep.
So same as we know, the medical system, it's collapsing. We know like it's looking at symptoms and not really getting to the core of it, right? Same as the educational system, same as the politics. Come on, which president are we like, yeah! Right, we're finding that power inside of us. We are the president. We wake up that energy and we become the president. And when we all do that, then we're gonna wake up as humanity. Right? It's like there's so many systems just crumbling. And one of them is wealth. How has wealth been distributed in the earth? Right? Can we break free from that old paradigm? And we always talk about, since we got together, we're like, okay, there's something coming. There's new codes coming. Let's allow them. Let's receive. Yes, it's a win for all. That is the energy coming through right now. And then, of course, we meet Karen. And then this magic happens, and then it's like, wow, that huge platform and system that blew our minds and hearts because we were feeling it, but you kind of just brought it in matter, in the body, in the material world. And it's like the best system that we have seen and embodied, and that's why we're fully in, because we feel it in every way, and it's pure integrity. Pure integrity. There's nothing behind the scenes. It's just clear as water.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, we have a really beautiful, amazing project that is birthing right now in the jungles of Costa Rica. Did I say that right? Costa Rica.
Costa
Rica. 600 acres of paradise, of jungle, of pristine jungle, and of the clearest crystalline waters that flow through that land. And it's such an honor to be stewards of that land and to really be listening to how that template wants to fold into the 3D physical reality. And one of the elements there is that we're birthing what we've called an ascension spa. So this is a spa with amazing pieces of technology that really fuse ancient wisdom with quantum technology in order to allow people to shift and upgrade their consciousness. And there's a lot of really cool biohacking things that, we're like playing with all the toys, basically. We have some technologies there that we can never even talk about publicly, that sadly right now we couldn't even put on the internet. But when people come and they come into this space, it's mind-blowing and heart-blowing as to what's available on this planet. So we've been pretty deep down this rabbit hole with technology, with biohacking, with health, with frequency, with consciousness, and with hydrogen for a very long time. This is not a new piece of the puzzle for us. In fact, we would have told you about 6 months ago that we were hydrogen experts. We know a lot about hydrogen. In fact, we had almost every hydrogen toy, every hydrogen pill, every hydrogen dissolvable something, every hydrogen face thing, you name it. Because we understood and understand the God molecule. And you know how powerful that is to be like, okay, we need to go and get everything that's hydrogen, right? And then we meet a man called Bruno Mina, who apparently is also quite into hydrogen. We're like, this is great. We're going to be really good friends. And we walk into his clinic and we start this conversation about hydrogen, and he has his, prototype bottle previous to this beautiful bottle. And he says, yeah, it's interesting. So what, hydrogen things do you guys have? Oh, we have them on us, right? So we start pulling them out. We're like, we have this thing, and we have that thing, and we have this tablet that you dissolve. And he said, how's it working for you? And we said, well, it's a little weird. We still kind of feel quite dehydrated quite often, but maybe it's working. Can't really tell. And it's weird. We test our hydration a lot, actually, in our ascension spa in Costa Rica. We're often quite dehydrated, but it's hot. We live in the jungle, but maybe it's working. And he said, look, come over here. Why don't we start testing some of these products? And so we start laying everything out, and he has his testing kit, and his beautiful team member, Rita, is there, and we're testing everything, and there's drops everywhere, and machines, and this and that, we're in the lab. And everything that we poured so much into over the past 2 years pretty much has 0 hydrogen in it.
Yeah.
0.
And
Please.
And there's some pills that we have, I'm sure you've heard of, pills we put in the water, and it's like, oh, and drink it right away because there's still hydrogen, and we're like, oh yeah, what? The thing is, like, it's not hydrating. We have this like quantum machine that measures the percentage absolutely perfect of how your body is doing, right? So we're like, it's not coming up, I don't know, more than 83%. And it's kind of weird, and we take everything, right? So when we measure the hydrogen in these fields, it does have a lot of hydrogen. But then we learned a new wisdom hack about hydrogen that we didn't know, the sneaky molecule, that you can put it in the water, and the water will have hydrogen. The thing is, the way to activate hydrogen is through the water. It's not adding something to the water. So you can add it and you have the hydrogen in it, but when it gets in the body, it's not assimilated at a cellular level. So you can have as much hydrogen as you want. It's like the oxygen. You can breathe all the oxygen you want. Your bloodstream is full of oxygen, but until you get the carbon dioxide and you understand the magic of the carbon dioxide, the oxygen won't get into the mitochondria and nurture your cells. And you can be fully oxygenated, right? So it's understanding these hacks that we hadn't got there yet. And thanks to Nina, we saw the trap of hydrogen and kind of humbled down and listened because we thought we kind of knew, as any biohacking freak around here, how many supplements are you taking, right? We could tell you, like, we got to up to 30, 40 pills kind of thing. And there's some around there that are very proud, take 120 pills a day. And I mean, it's great. You can do it and you have certain results. The thing is, are you teaching your body? Is that the best way to empower your body? Or is there another way? And another one of the hacks that we received and accepted was that through hydrogen, you're activating absolutely everything you need in your body. That's why it's a blood molecule. So what happens is, when you take hydrogen in the right way, activating it in the water, especially with frequencies, what's happening is like it knows exactly where to go and what to work on to exactly what you need. Instead of like you thinking because you saw and you're following that person and they're talking about that supplement, that you fall in love and you get obsessed with it because you think that's the way, right? Especially because it's out there and everybody talks about it, and you just take it without even knowing if that's what exactly you need. So part of humbling down for us was like, okay, let's really clear everything. We let go of every supplement. Actually, right now, we're not taking any supplement at all. And it feels amazing. Amazing. Amount of energy and presence and focus without needing one little thing that you're kind of putting all your attention on that. We're allowing hydrogen to actually start doing your work. It's came to the planet to do. So it's been a beautiful journey and part of this awakening through understanding and then allowing with patience and love to work at a cellular level.
Yeah, exactly. And so after we tested a lot of these, and Nuno, by the way, was just like sitting back and laughing, and he's like, oh, these ones should be called a hydrogen graveyard. It should say hydrogen at time of packaging. There's no hydrogen even left in this anymore. And he said, let's go measure my bottom. We're like, okay, so we went over like little curious kids, and sure enough, 100% hydrogen. And we're like, okay, all right.
For 24 hours, it still has hydrogen. This is like literally impossible. After 24 hours, it has like 90% hydrogen still. If you keep it closed, not open. So it's really amazing.
And so we walked away with these beautiful prototype bottles, which is nothing even compared to this magical vessel of frequencies and many good things. But we walked away with this prototype, and we started drinking from it. And it was interesting because we felt very thirsty for a couple of days. We called Nuno and we said, why are we so thirsty? And then he was like just laughing. And he said, oh, you're probably getting hydrated for probably the first time in your life ever. And we kept drinking it, and when was it? It was probably maybe about a week and a half later, we landed back in Costa Rica. We come off long flights from Europe, we were tired, we were drinking our hydrogen as we were prescribed to do, and we thought, oh, let's go and measure our hydration. 100%, 99% for both of us, and we had never seen that, not just in ourselves, but actually in a lot of clients that were coming through our Ascension Star and coming to retreats. And so that was really the moment for us where we said, okay, this is the time to ground into this. And then if we fast forward a little bit later, we were all of us here in Dubai, and Nuno turned up and he had the very first prototype of this amazing vessel, which some of you will experience today. And he called us over and said, okay, you guys, like, I want you to have your first shot. And so he prepared the water, he turned on the frequencies and the hydrogen, and he said, drink it all. And I drank it first, right? I drank it and I immediately felt so hot through my body. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting to feel anything. I was like, I'm probably going to feel nothing because we've been drinking from the prototype without all the extra magical things for about 6 months, 4 or 5 months maybe at this time. And my body got super hot, and I felt this interesting, like, euphoric feeling around my head. It felt amazing. It was like, ooh. And so I went to Nuno and I said, because people were having all different experiences, not everyone felt like that. I said, why do I feel so hot? And he looked at me, as he does, and scanned me and said, oh, it's because your weaker system is your lymphatic system, so it's working on that. So you just got a hot flush. And I said, and why the euphoria around my head? He goes, oh, you have way too many thoughts in your head. You need to stop thinking. The frequency is going to come down. And I was like, valid point. And so I was like, I want my shot, right? And so he comes over and he gets his shot. He shots it and had a very different experience.
So I'm like, right, full on, allow it in. Then all of a sudden, I start feeling my heart, like the center, from the center of my chest, like opening. Like, when you have the most amazing quantum journey, right? And it's like, whoa, this is the best. I can feel it in every cell. And I come to Nuno like super happy. This is the best experience I've ever had. Like, this really opens from the nervous system. Like, it's fully open. Like, I can feel it like miles away. And he like looks at me and starts laughing. And it's like, Wampa, what's going on with your lungs? No, I just came from like a deep cleansing that I was doing with my lungs, and they're kind of weak right now. I'm recovered, but it's working on your lungs right now. That's not very hard, Chuck. Thank you very much. So the thing is with this, it's not only that you have hydrogen, but we're going to talk more about the frequencies. There's a specific frequency that goes to exactly what your body needs, and wakes up whatever needs to be woken up right there. So that's why it's different for everyone. It's a beautiful, beautiful journey when you're suddenly tapped into it.
Yes, so we know that if we can get more people experiencing this vibration, one by one, piece by piece, we know that eventually we create this amazing grid around the planet, visually, of light, of frequency, everywhere, which ripples through each and every single one of us. And we know that that's not separate from the vibration of the planet. That's not separate from the evolution which is going on right now. That's not separate from the new earth that is anchored through our consciousness and through our 3D physical reality right here, right now. So we're super excited to be here. We're super excited to support all of you in this mission. I have no idea who's talking next, so I'm going to bring Karen back up to say I love you. I'm going to bring Colette up to say I love you. I'm going to bring you both up to say I love you. Who is next? Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to have our biohacking panel next. So everyone comes up and has a seat. We have a little show everyone. So over to stage Carrie Bryan, Taz Vera, and Josh and Zilka Rock. Well, thank you all for being here tonight, and I'm really excited because biohacking is a jam, and it's important that we understand what this miracle miracle molecule is actually doing for us inside. So, Carrie, you work in reproductive health and you teach a lot about the terrain theory. And so, for me, I got really excited about how molecular hydrogen can benefit not only myself, but also my children and keeping their terrain clean. So, can you express or explain what the terrain theory is and how molecular hydrogen benefits us?
That is a loaded question. Okay, so terrain theory is essentially talking about the environment that surrounds your cells is more important than the genetic information that's within your cell. So actually 5% of disease or disease is created by our genetics. The rest is created by the environment. And Alexis Carroll is an amazing scientist that did a study in 1912 actually, which has proven that the cell has no lifespan. It can live on and on and on and on when given a clean environment and a nutritious environment. And the moment that the cell was, the petri dish was not changed, essentially the experiment was done where they took chicken tissue and continued to change the petri dish over and over. And 28 years the cell lived, which the average lifespan is 4 years normally. So it shows that the cell doesn't have a lifespan. What happens is our cells, they eat and they drink, and they also eliminate their waste, just like we do with digested food. And if the environment that surrounds the cell is suffocating the function of the cell, then the cell can no longer support its own life. And so we have apoptosis of cells, or cell destruction, or cell damage, which is what we know is the C word in the medical field. So essentially, what I like to say is we have 75 trillion cells in two fluids. We have a blood system and we have a lymphatic system. The blood feeds, the lymph cleans. However, this can only happen if every single cell has enough energy to do so, and if the environment around the cell is conducive enough. So, like Regan was saying, her weak system is your lymphatic system. That means the system that surrounds your cells is not eliminating properly. And this will create a swamp-like environment inside the body, which then, how well do you guys thrive when you haven't taken out your trash? Right? And so that's essentially the terrain theory is when you clean the environment, the body knows how to repair itself. We are the healers. Nobody else can heal you. Your body heals itself. And that is through addressing the environment. So hydrogen specifically is, well, it is the God molecules, the miracle molecules, where every single thing came from, but it has the ability to penetrate every single cell to upregulate what we call the mitochondria, which we'll get into a little bit more later. But what's the difference between all of us in this room and somebody that has passed away? It's an electrical current. We have electricity. We have energy and vibration within ourselves, and somebody else does not. And all of that is run by what I call the mighty mitochondria. And hydrogen specifically addresses the mitochondria. It upregulates the mitochondrial function, which is then upregulating every single function in the cell from its own detoxification. It upregulates what's called the NRF2 pathways, which is the cytoprotective pathway of the cell. It's also working on the cytoplasm, which is the fluid inside the cell, the ability to keep the fluid clean, and it moves through multiple redox signaling properties where it's actually reducing stress around its own environment. So I'll keep it to that.
Are you guys following? All right, so Taz, you also work in the reproductive health space, but you are an expert in gut microbiome and helping people live high vibrational lives through nutrition. So when you were introduced to the Leafy Table, what really excited you and how you implement this with your clients that you have?
Absolutely. So I can explain the molecular hydrogen benefits the gut microbiome by influencing the gene expression. So that's epigenetics, right? So you can turn your genes on and off. And molecular hydrogen actually has the ability to do that. And it promotes a balanced microbial ecosystem. Because in your gut microbiome, you have so much ecosystem in there that needs to be balanced. The whole point of our body is to live in homeostasis, right? That is in complete balance. So molecular hydrogen acts as a potent antioxidant. which helps to reduce oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is cell damage. So this reduction is an antioxidant stress and can lead to decreased inflammation. It can improve your gut microbiome, and it can increase your gut barrier, okay? And this ultimately supported your beneficial gut bacteria. And what I love is that it helps the gene expression. It helps turn on and off your inflammation. And what I love about this is that Nunu was part of this for over 30 years. 20 years working in molecular hydrogen. So I knew it was someone I can trust and I can actually offer to my patients. And you know, a lot of times you have so many hydrogen that actually is not alive and doesn't work. And molecular hydrogen is the single molecule, that's one molecule that can pass through all the gut barrier. And it brings us back to what you were saying about the God molecule and going back to basics.
Thank you so much. And now we have Milka Monk. So Milka, hi. Got her to see over there. So Milka, you are also another mom and very big in the biohacking space, and you do a lot of biohacking wellness retreats. And so as a mom and a figurehead within the biohacking space, what really why did you want to bring molecular hydrogen to your community?
Yes, thank you for that. Well, first, as a mom, I'm always looking, what is the easiest way I can get my kids to be healthy? It's always the biggest struggle. And when I discovered from Colette about hydrogen from Luna Beauty, I'm like, light bulbs started going out. Yes, my kids are anyways drinking water from their water bottle. Might as well drink molecular hydrogen. They're going to get so much more health benefits. And that excited me so far, thinking about all the moms in the community out there. How do we keep our kids healthy? Just add molecular hydrogen. And then you have the frequency on top, like, wow, our kids are going to thrive. And they're our future. And we can get it into the schools, and we can get it into our communities. What an impact, what a ripple impact in the world. And then I think of people that starting their wellness journey, and they start getting really overwhelmed. There's so many biohacks out there. Where do I start with? Oh my gosh, what food should I eat? I don't know where to start. Well, start with changing the water. Okay, that sounds simple. I can handle that. Yeah, just use this bottle every time you drink, and automatically you're going to be winning. Automatically your body's going to be able to get back to homeostasis. And when I learned that, I was like, I'm all in, because, man, people get really overwhelmed. Anxiety really high. Let's shift that narrative. Let's make it easy. Let's let it flow. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's really beautiful. And I love that you talked about, keeping things simple, because Corinne and I were talking about this the other day, is that especially in the biohacking space, some people do like to track everything and keep all these metrics, and as busy moms, it's not something that everyone can always do. And so for me, it is a very foundational piece of where to get started, and it helps keep the cobwebs clear up here, and then in your brain focus and work faster and think things more, to think things out more fluidly and to stay grounded. So thank you. And we have your husband Josh up here as well. And Josh, hey, you have had some autoimmune issues your life, and you're also an athlete. And so why were you excited, and what have you experienced by increasing molecular hydrogen in your life?
Sure. So I was actually debating, it's like maybe we should do like a little martial arts demonstration or something. And then on the way here, it dawned on me that I chose to wear skinny pants tonight. So that seems to be out of the question. However, just as somebody who, I'm both a runner and I also really enjoy practicing a couple of different martial arts. Afterwards, anybody wants to debate me on why Korean martial arts are the best of all martial arts, happy to have that discussion privately. But basically, adding in molecular hydrogen has been an experience that I have to be honest, I'm still a little bit just digesting the reality of how well I feel like it's worked. Because I'll go to a martial arts class and I feel like I perform better. I feel like anecdotally at least I can do more push-ups, and you know, it's pretty cool to feel this good. Ever since we added molecular hydrogen, when we first started, I added a little bit too much frequency, and I was having it a little bit more often than I was supposed to, and I really felt like I started to detox, and that showed me that there's really something going on here. And then Milka, of course, had to take a camera in my face, and she's like, "This is great material for Instagram." I was like, "Get out of my face!" But but I really do feel like, and Milka spoke about the fact that it's simple, it's easy, and this is something that I'm able to very easily integrate. And then I have all sorts of different. So we have all sorts of different biohacks that we do, from supplements to being careful about the types of food that we eat, different types of technology, and I really feel like the molecular hydrogen boosts all of it. So yeah, it goes everywhere. It does everything, and so I'm really thankful to have been introduced to not just molecular hydrogen, but such a high quality product that I really feel like it works really well. And that's why we're so excited also to integrate it into the retreats and vacations that we do, because we want people to come on the events that we do and feel really good. And I feel like I can count on Lumavitae to give people a pretty immediate effect that they're going to feel good and they're going to notice a difference, because this is something that starts to affect the body really quickly. So it's just really exciting to be able to integrate Lumavitae specifically, all the molecular hydrogen into everything that we do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. We have one last little question. And because you were talking about the other energy that you're getting when you're working out, and that all comes down to our cellular health, and that's a major key piece in the longevity gain. So how is that actually supporting our mitochondria and giving us more energy when we use the molecular hydrogen specifically for fitness and recovery?
Again, another question that I'm really bad at answering quickly, but the main thing is that molecular hydrogen is the smallest molecule. It can penetrate every cell, but it has this direct relationship with the mitochondria. And the mitochondria, if you don't understand, has a huge process in the body. So every single thing that your cells do, your hair, your skin, your organs, it's all made of cells. If we don't have the mitochondria, the cell dies. It's that simple. So the mitochondria, every time it has to produce something called ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. That's our cellular vitality. It's the energy output, and it happens from a process of combining cellular respiration through glucose plus oxygen equals energy. Okay? Now, if you have low energy inside the cell becomes weak. And when the cell becomes weak, the cell membrane wall becomes weak, and that the cell will then easily become attacked by antigens, pathogens, parasites, or microbes, and we have cellular breakdown. And so this is the precursor for disease or disease in the body. So the way the hydrogen works is it penetrates the cell. Specifically, it's like, to me, it's putting in the best octane gas into your cell. And it's essentially upregulating the very functionality of being able to efficiently produce more ATP. So a higher energy cell means the cell has more integrity and more strength overall. In addition to that, we also, not just through cellular respiration, we produce ATP, we also produce something called reactive oxygen species. And these are very important, and we produce them when we exercise, we produce them every time we take an exhale or an inhale. But these reactive oxygen species, if you're living a stressful life, which I know many of us entrepreneurs are, we can have too much oxidation in the body, which is advanced cellular aging and stress. And what molecular hydrogen does is it supports this function inside the cell to create reduction, to reduce the damage, to reduce the stress. And so the mitochondria literally plays out every single time you feel low energy, your mitochondria is struggling. And so every single function in your body, from your thyroid health to your gut health to your constipation or fluid bowel movements, all of this is regulated by your cellular energy. So hydrogen is first-hand support
for the most important engine in your entire body.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being on the panel this evening. We are going to have Carrie's going to stay up and she's going to talk about the science and how the bottle is functioning and the features of it. But I want to show a real beautiful reel that Carrie has because she is such an inspiration. She runs a beautiful institute. She's an entrepreneur and leads many businesses and one of the key science educators here at Vitae, and she's on a real beautiful mission. So thank you guys.
I want to break every single rule there is. They say ambition is an unattractive trait in a woman. Maybe. But you know what's really unattractive? Waiting around for something to happen. Staring out a window thinking the life you should be living is out there somewhere, but not being willing to open the door and go get it, even if someone tells you you can't.
So I will just start by saying I am a very busy mother of 5, yes 5, and I own the Institute of Regenerative Health as well as Wise Wellness Clinic and a multitude of other business ventures. So the fact that Vitae has me standing here means it's freaking important.
Yes.
So I don't drop anything to travel the world, but the reason why I'm here in this space is most specifically because I believe in regenerative health. I believe in the body's natural ability to self-repair. If somebody ever tells you, I can heal you, run, because they cannot. You can heal you. And the way that we heal ourselves is through putting our body into an internal environment that allows ourselves to self-repair, that activates our own inner wisdom. And that is why I'm standing here with molecular hydrogen. Because what hydrogen does is it literally is activating the native wisdom within your body. And there's a lot of hydrogen in this industry, in the world, and it's very hard to decipher the noise. You know, who has the ability to spend hundreds of hours researching, trying to find what bottle, trying to do your own testing? It's a very expensive and lengthy process. And so, like all of us, I was divinely orchestrated and guided into this space, and then all of the science checked out, all of the molecular hydrogen tests checked out, and much like I've worked with hydrogen tablets before, but I noticed nothing. And as a clinician, I knew that my job is to support my patients to regenerate with as little financial capital as possible, so I stopped using them. And it wasn't until I brought this hydrogen in that I saw some massive difference. So today I'm going to tell you why Vitae is the best in the world, and I say that with the utmost confidence. So, liquid light technology, we're going to bring some bottles here. So from top to bottom, this is not a hydrogen water bottle, okay? So first and foremost, this is a device, all right? And there aren't any other devices on the market. We are going to start to make a lot of noise, so I'm sure there's going to be people that try to mimic our device. But from top to bottom, this bottle is the best on every level. So in the lid, I'm going to go briefly over this, and then I'll go more in depth. We have 3 unique frequencies in the lid. So this has the ability to essentially imprint water. And if you've ever studied Dr. Emoto's work, we are actually water. 99% of our cell under a microscope is water, which means water can be informed, right? And Dr. Emoto showed that work of when we see water underneath a microscope, we have the ability to change the molecular structure based on the vibration we put there, whether it's love or hate. And so the idea with our frequencies in the lid is that they're actually informing the water. And then that's combining and merging with the water within us and informing the water in our body. We have a hydrogen-rich 3-phase formula, which I'm going to go into the details in a moment. We have chromotherapy, which is simply aesthetics. We all know like those blue lights back there are quite nice. And chromotherapy affects our mood, which then overall affects our vibration. Special design in PEM membrane and plates, and a dual chamber electrolysis reservoir. I'm going to tell you why all this is important. So, okay, let's start here with the PEM membrane. So, first and foremost, what's in between everything that I talked about is extremely important. So being able to make molecular hydrogen has to go through a process of what's called electrolysis. Electrolysis is essentially creating an electrical charge to create a biochemical change. Okay, it's that simple. However, when you do electrolysis, you're not just creating hydrogen. You could be creating chloride that turns into chlorine gas. There's lots of different byproducts that are created in electrolysis. So it's very important that you have the proper technology and the membrane to only allow hydrogen into this water instead of all of the other byproducts. So we actually have the strongest membrane in the world. The proton exchange membrane was custom made and designed, like every single part of this bottle. This was not outsourced to China because we're like, hey, hydrogen's cool, go make this bottle. Nuno Mina designed every part of this bottle start to finish. And just a little side note, we also own the factory. So we control every part of the process. Nothing is outsourced, everything is integrity and made with the highest quality. Well, Nuno was looking at all the membranes in the world, and the DuPont membrane is considered to be the best. And he was able to tear it in half. And he was like, well, that's not the best. So, Nuno, of course, with his genius, created his own. Now, we have, we have, what we have is the anode and the cathode. So when you're making molecular hydrogen, the cathode gets the hydrogen, the anode gets the oxygen, and this is how we separate the molecules in the water. Well, there has to go through a process that I'll explain in a moment, that once it passes through this membrane, okay, this membrane that we have in here is not only the strongest, so it's going to create the longevity in your bottle, but also it's only letting hydrogen ions through. None of the extra stuff. And we're all just in Lisbon doing a live demo and watched a very expensive bottle on the market. It's around $250 US. And we tested the two bottles side by side. Ours was completely clear. The other one had heavy metals, had arsenic, and all sorts of things that were produced within that hydrogen bottle that's supposed to be making you get healthy. So, we have this incredible membrane that only allows the hydrogen ions through, and also has a dual chamber where it's releasing any of the unwanted items through the bottle. The bottle, you'll see this tiny little dot almost, but it's releasing any unwanted gases. You might feel or see a couple of drips come out. Now, we have these three rich phase formula. This is, again, something that nobody else has, because Nuno has 20 years of clinical experience with this, of seeing when he saw his patients really shifting in their wellness. And it wasn't just having the most hydrogen possible. It was having these ratios proper, because what the ratios are, they don't make the water more therapeutic, but they actually make the environment for hydrogen more viable. So it's like, how well do you work and function in an abusive relationship? Not well, right? But when you're in a really loving space, you're your best self. This is essentially creating the best environment for hydrogen. So what happens when we go through electrolysis is that the electrodes, oftentimes the electrical current or the voltage increases the pH of the water. So many of you, we have some popular water machines that are out on the market, and they do this electrolysis process. They bring the water very alkaline. In an attempt to make molecular hydrogen, they actually increase the pH, and that's where alkaline water was birthed from. And it's actually, the alkalinity is not therapeutic, it's the hydrogen that is. So keeping the water at its pH is very important. So our bottle has such a low voltage, it's 2.3, and this allows the pH to stay exactly the same. So if you put a pH water of 6 in, you get a pH water of 6 out. Next is the RH2 and the ORP. So, like I said, pH is the same. ORP means oxidation reduction potential. This is very important because it is the potential of the substance to reduce or to oxidize. I don't know about you, but I have enough oxidative stress in my life. So I want a water that can reduce. This has a negative ORP of negative 400 to negative 600. And this is the ratio in which Nuno saw clinically it being the most supportive for the hydrogen to be more effective. And a negative ORP means it has the ability to reduce. A positive ORP means it oxidizes. We don't want oxidation, we want reduction. And then the next is RH2, less than 8. This measures the number of electrons in the water. Electrons are ions. They create the electrical charge for your cells. It's what's bringing the electricity to your water, and it's also what is maximizing the capability of that substance to be able to reduce. Or like we talked about oxidation and reduction, this is the reduction. Super super important. Our RH2 is less than 8. So these ratios essentially are what make our hydrogen be more therapeutic in the body. Again, it's the hydrogen becoming more therapeutic because of the environment that the RH2, the pH, and the ORP are providing. Now, this is our process of electrolysis. I'll be a little bit quick, but so this is essentially the anode and the cathode. The cathode gets the hydrogen, it's like a cheese sandwich in here. And so we start to see the analytes and the catholites. And we start to have this separation of the molecules. Now, we have the hydroxide, and it moves through the membrane, right? So we have the anode, and then we have the oxygen atoms coming in as well. And what we get is oxygen gas. Obviously, these elements exist in water. Now, next it comes in, we call this like the cheese. This is our membrane that's designed. And what we get out, essentially you're going to see in a moment here as this goes on, is the hydrogen actually comes out, we get hydrogen gas, and the electrons separate. So, as the hydrogen cations come together and move with the oxygen, it is now dissolved into, or created into molecular hydrogen gas. And that's what we need. And the molecular hydrogen gas needs to be dissolved inside of the water. So this is what our bottle does. And then the next thing is we have this intricately calibrated magnet. So in the base of this, we have custom design magnets, of course, by Nuno, that he's really arranged in here to mimic the frequency and the vibration of the earth. And so in Chinese medicine, it is thought that the earth has this vital force. And as we know, water can be imprinted. So essentially, we are imprinting the water with this vitality, this chi, this life force energy. And the lid now. So we have multiple frequencies on the lid. So I'm going to just push this on and kind of show you here. You see the cell power, we have the logo turning on, and we have 3 settings. We have energy, we have recovery, and we have luminite. So the number one is energy. We recommend this in the morning. What's also special about our bottles, we kind of follow the rhythm of your natural circadian rhythm and Chinese medicine principles. But oxidation is to bring more energy into the body, to bring a little bit more vitality. So you use the energy cycle in the morning. And on the 3-minute setting, on the base we have 3 different settings, which I'll go through in a second. And the next one is recovery. Recovery again, reduction. We recommend recovery late afternoon, early evening. You should be all in reduction later in the day. These frequencies are going in the body and allowing the repair to happen if you exercise or have a stressful day. So we don't just have hydrogen, we also have the recovery. And this is my favorite one. It's luminite, light of life. Essentially, it mimics the frequencies of the sun. And I will not go off on my tangent of how important the sun is for your vitality and life force, but it's everything. And so the luminite, the sun frequencies, as you put this on, I put this on in the morning or in the early afternoon, it's essentially mimicking the frequency of the sun and how the sun goes through the process of photosynthesis and affects plants. So you can see this. Pull it back. I obviously bumped something. So there we go. So we have light of life, luminite, and these frequencies are imprinting the water with the same sort of technology and information that's provided from the sun during the process of photosynthesis. So essentially what we have created here, and the need for this, I want to emphasize. You might be thinking, doesn't all water have hydrogen? The answer is yes, it does. But our water is not the same as it was 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. We're in an environment where we're inundated with chemicals, toxins, pesticide, radiation, 5G, all of this stuff, and our water has actually changed. So one of the most beautiful things that Rita Ventura, Nuno's best partner in this device development, said we are essentially what we're doing is we're taking the ancient water of the past and bringing it into the future with our futuristic science. So we are essentially recreating the water of the past, and what we have here is essentially a microcosm. This is the earth in a bottle. We have the sun, we have the earth, and we have the most therapeutic molecular hydrogen that exists to start repairing the oxidative damage that has occurred through our lifestyle and environment.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna not give you a limiting 10 cycle because it'll be awake, but we'll do a recovery and you guys can just see how this works. And so the type of water you use in the bottle is important. We recommend spring water, just to be more natural and earth. But thank you so much for your time. I hope you learned more about hydrogen and I hope you learned about that.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
All right, you guys, we are going to move into the freedom and abundance of liquid light. You've been hearing about the science, molecular hydrogen, health, biohacking, the big vision. But at Lume Vitae, we are also about abundance and rising together into wealth. So I'm going to call out to the panel, Regan Hilliard, come on up, David Perez, and Tara Riz. This is a little funny. Do you have another mic? Can we get a mic? Do we have all the mics somewhere? So, you guys heard from Regan around how this became really a download around $1 billion consciousness and $1 billion possibility. And one of the things that we've done in the Lume Vitae is we've really created what we consider to be a lineage of financial sharing. And maybe you can just share with us, Regan, like, not going into all the details, but how have we opened up the space to really bring abundance to whoever wants to rise with us is only the light.
Yes, so we've really opened up the space to make it really easy for anyone to plug into this. If anyone really cares about the planet, if anyone really has a heart of service, if anyone really understands the power of this technology, this device, it was amazing. Carrie, thank you so much. I don't know where you are now, but it was just so eloquent and there's so much more, but it was also so succinct. And if you really get that that is so important to support the shifts that are going on the planet right now, there's been an amazing wealth system created where you are rewarded, not just for your time and your energy, but in a really beautiful, powerful, leveraged way, and also in a way where it's simple and easy to understand. There's a lot of plans and systems out there where you need some sort of financial PhD to actually understand how would I get paid. And it's interesting because I look at that and I say, why did the company do that? Why do they make it so hard for people to understand? Well, maybe because they don't want them to actually tap into all of the financial abundance so the company can keep more of the money. And it's just really beautiful to see that the opposite, effectively, of this is happening here, all the way down to activating potential shares in the company and having the revenue and just having this distributed in such a powerful way. So without going into details, it's a high-level summary.
That's great. That's great. So, Regan's giving you this, we have a compensation plan, an affiliate plan, and all of that, but, we're really attracting some amazing human beings that are coming into this space. And I'm going to introduce David Perez now, who's someone who, I'm going to say, doesn't necessarily need an affiliate plan, but he's very attracted to what we're up to. And this is someone who, you're going to hear a little bit about his story briefly. He has a high-grade spa in California, but really he's set his heart of gold and got to know David and his philanthropic work in the world. And he's got a big mission now with us in the Lume Vitae. Want to tell us about it?
Sure. With everybody's help here tonight, we will sell 1 million bottles in the next 10 months. That's the goal. And it's interesting. There's a few executive producers here from a documentary that they asked me to be on our spa. I try to keep a low profile, and I said, I just had a client come in with this bottle that absolutely blew me away, because I've been selling hydrogen bottles and doing hydrogen therapy for almost a year and a half now. And we've seen miracles with hydrogen across the board. You know, we've incorporated hydrogen, and people walk in very, very sick. We have a very exclusive VIP clinic. We charge $25,000 to $50,000 for 2 weeks, and they all leave perfectly. And we knew that hydrogen had a big play in this. When they asked me to be in the documentary, I said, no thank you, but I do want you to interview these people here at Lummi Vitae. I had no affiliation with them at the time. I just knew that this was a good product. It needed to get to the world because my mission is to heal a billion lives. Heal and touch a billion people. And with everybody here today, we'll be able to touch a billion people. It may take us 5 years, but if we do 1 million bottles in 10 months, and everybody here can sell 10. 1 month you sell 10 bottles, that's 10 million. And then everybody there sells 10 bottles, that's 100. Okay, and then we get to 1 billion in 4 years. So we can get here in 5. I'm giving you guys an extra year to help me. This is a mission that when I met Taryn after 5 minutes talking to Taryn and Karina, I knew that this had the leadership. I could take it to the stratosphere. I've brought some interesting people that are #1 in health and wellness into the space. Everybody wants to get on board. Every single person that I've contacted. I've helped billionaires, I've helped tremendous people from around the world that come to us, and I've given everybody a bottle now or a chance to get a bottle, and they all want to jump on board. So this group here tonight, you have a chance to be the pioneers of being something that you were at the very first pre-launch party. This is not even a party, this is just an education party. To really help us change the world. I do believe when this documentary is completed, I mean, this documentary was with Mark Hyman, Peter Diamandis, all the luminaries in the world are in this documentary. These are people that are the greatest in the space, and this Lummi Vitae is part of this documentary. And it's something very big. They will have over 100, maybe 200 million downloads on Amazon Prime, right? On Amazon Prime. Mr. Wally over here, Anthony, he just went through his journey. He had almost 100 million downloads on his first documentary. So these are people that know how to do this, and highlighting Lummi Vitae on this is, for me, it's amazing because I said, for myself, I got a little clinic. I love helping as many people as I can, but this gives me the ability because we do light, we do water, we do all sorts of interesting things, but this bottle encapsulates everything we do at our clinic. And you don't have to spend $50,000. For $500, you can bring my clinic to the world. And I'm just impressed by the team, not doing it through affiliate. Most of the money we're giving to charity anyhow, helping cancer clinics. We believe as a social cause, our cause is we're helping people around the world that are suffering, that can change the way they take their supplements, that the way they take care of themselves. And for the kids, like somebody said earlier about your mother, the mother that was talking about giving it to her kids, we have seen for 1.5 years how powerful that this molecule is. And I learned more last week about why the mechanisms of action and why this works so well. After 3 days, I've never been glued to my computer for 3 days doing this live stream seminar last week with Lummi Vitae. But the quality of individuals, the scientists, the blood analysis, everything that they put on that live stream, 7 hours a day, I canceled my schedule with all my clients because I was glued to this. And if you haven't seen this video, this Zoom video, you need to download it immediately. Share it with 10 people because you're going to change 10 people's lives. And everybody's going to be filled with gratitude and love because you're educating them. Now I understand why we've had so much success at our little clinic. Why do people pay $25,000 or $50,000? They pay it because they want to improve their health. They want to rid themselves of diseases. And I have a nutraceutical company and I hate taking supplements. We all hate it. Nobody complies with supplements, we know that. And people hate drugs because there's a lot of side effects. This little bottle is a pharmacy. It's everything you want in a bottle, and it's just drinking water. So, again, I'm so grateful for the team. Karina's helped me, educate me. I just met this beautiful woman last night with her husband, and I'm blown away, and I'm ready to hear your speech. But Taryn and Karina, thank you. This weekend was amazing, and we got a great team. I want everybody to be part of the profit sharing pool. Everybody should be able to get to where we're going to get in a matter of weeks and months. So thank you very much.
You guys are up for a really big mission. And I want to bring in Tara and Grace now because, you know, Regan shared about what's possible and that we're profit sharing and the possibility of coming to really our financial lineage. And then David sharing about like his big vision. We're gonna change the world through this. And Tara, I know you're someone who you work in the space of wealth consciousness, you work with feminine wealth. Like, what has Lume Vitae meant to you and this movement? That's really a wealth consciousness and abundance movement for the world. What has it meant to you?
That's exactly what it is. It's a wealth consciousness, a consciousness movement. The light of life. Lume Vitae. The light of life. What would be possible if we filled ourselves with the light of life every single day? Intentionally, consciously, mindfully. What would be possible on what we would create? What would be possible on how we would feel? What would be possible even in regards to not only our health but our wealth? And consciousness is wealth. Wealth is consciousness. Wealth in the purest form is wholeness. And this God molecule, this miracle molecule brings us and restores us back to wholeness. It brings us back to our original blueprint, our original divine design. And when we operate from this level of consciousness, everything that we touch turns to gold. I know this. But having this tool, it's like a wand. It's a magical vessel. There's so many names for it, but I've been working with frequency for years, and now to have an activator in my life and in the lives of those that I love, my family, my clients, and to align with the leadership that I know, that I love, that I trust, that I honor, that I respect, that I esteem as some of the most beautiful, conscious, wealthy women leaders in the world, Darren, Regan, Karina, it's an honor to do business consciously, to do life consciously. And this vessel gives us an opportunity to tap into the highest frequency, the highest vibration on a daily basis. What is that worth? What is that worth to live, love, and lead at the highest frequency, at the highest vibration, at the highest level of consciousness? And this is a tool that we can literally fill our lives up with light, our consciousness, ourselves with light. It healed me. I went to Portugal, and I had swelling in my feet. My ankles were huge. It was painful to walk. I was bloated. I mean, you haven't seen me since Portugal. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm back to my sexy self. Love the miracle molecule. Hydrogen. Okay? Beauty. Anti-aging beauty. Okay? Hello, ladies. You know we love this. Consciousness, beauty, wealth, abundance. Yes, please.
Yes, please. Who would like that? Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. So we're going to wrap up in a moment, but I want to bring you back in again because what Tara was saying here, you guys, Queen of Manifestation, just off the stage of Mind Valley from the last few days. Don't we want to hear what does this magical water do for us as wealth creators for manifesting what we truly want?
It does a lot. It does a lot because water is such a vessel. There's a reason why we're coding the water with the frequencies, because one of the best way to actually hold the frequencies is through water. You know, in Nuno's clinic, all of this really came about even with the old prototype from 5-6 years ago, because he was working deeply with many layers of frequency technology. And he would have people come to his clinic with the same condition, and he would see that the frequency tech was more efficient with some people than others. And he'd go, well, what's the difference? oh, it must be the hydration. Okay, everyone just needs to drink more water. Everyone drink more water, and you're still seeing a difference. There's a discrepancy. And then when you go to the core of it, oh, it's not the hydration, it's the hydrogen. And it's the capacity if the hydrogen is actually being absorbed or not. We fix the hydrogen problem, and all of a sudden, the frequency treatments were efficient and stable across the board. So we know that water is the divine carrier of this frequency, which of course, we are on a water planet, and the frequencies of the sun and the cosmos and the planet and all that is being carried through the water. We are not separate from that. So if we are looking to bring higher frequencies from our future timelines, from a version of ourselves that's already manifested and created what we desire, and we're connecting with that, we're doing our work, if we're meditating or visualizing or activating or using any sort of tool, and we're having these frequencies input into our system, if we are not hydrated, it really doesn't work. And before and after any type of activation that I do, especially online with people, I'm like, drink water. And now obviously drink hydrogen water, drink Limbo Day water, because I know the difference that it makes. And it's the difference between someone stabilizing a higher frequency of manifestation, maybe at 20-30%, versus stabilizing it to its full maximum capacity. So if someone's looking to change their lives in any area of their lives, they need to be properly hydrated. And 99.9% of everybody practically is dehydrated.
Can I just jump in real quick? So the name of our little wellness center in San Diego, NCDS, is called Hydrate Wellness. And the reason we call it Hydrate, one of my partners has a PhD. She's one of the 5 foremost experts in water in the world. Tracy Hughes, who spoke the other day. She taught me something 17 years ago, that 99% of the human population is dehydrated. First, we don't drink enough water. You should drink at least half your water weight in ounces. I like, for a good detox, to drink all of your water weight in ounces if you can for a week or two. You kind of flush out the toxins. What we do at our facility, and people spend $2,000 a day for this. All we do is make them drink 3 liters of water, put them in a bath for 3 hours, and it doesn't matter if they're, but we have all these devices from Israel that will measure 16 parameters, including your red blood cell count, your hematocrit, your hemoglobin, and more importantly, your partial pressure in your blood. I carry you on with me everywhere I go. I can prove to people, if you drink any hydrogen water, especially ours from the entire, I can change your partial pressure, which is the amount of oxygen in your red blood cells. I can prove that in 10 minutes, 1 hour. I can prove it at the end of your 5-day. So you don't need to go spend $2,000, because we also do frequencies with these headphones that you put on, and that's $1,000 just to get scanned with the frequencies. So the frequencies that the bottle will give you, and the ability to hydrate yourself, can fix high blood pressure, fix diabetes. We reverse type 2 diabetes almost daily. Type 1, we're able to get them from 59 units a day down to 10 units a day within 5 days. 5 days, type 1 diabetics. And you can look on our website, the testimonials, and what's he doing every day? He's drinking hydrogen water every day. Okay? So important if you know people that are sick with chronic diseases. They don't need, including yourselves. Remember, 99% of us are dehydrated. So nobody drinks enough water. If you have chapped lips, that's a sign that you're not having enough water. If you're licking your lips, you're going out for oxygen, hydrogen, it's leaking. Okay? So this water is second to none. I've tested all of these bottles. If you come to my clinic, you'll see 27 bottles there. I mean 27 bottles every color. And I've been testing them for about 2 years. And this is the best bottle. When I saw it, I tested it, and I didn't even have a bottle, and I asked them to go ahead and start promoting them on this documentary. Without having a bottle, I already saw one, and I knew after I tested it that it moves the needle. Anytime you have a product that moves the needle without any drugs or supplements, you know it works. So I'm putting my reputation on the line backing this company because I believe in everything they do, and this guy, Nuno Nina, is a genius.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Well, we're almost to the end, but we have some very important moments to share with you. We're going to bring Taryn Lee, the CEO of Levite, back up to share with all of us where we headed now. And then we're going to wrap up with a water activation that I'm going to be leading and the opportunity to sample liquid light.
Thank you. Gosh, Timmy seems to just keep attracting so many incredible people into Levite. There must be something in the waters. Or maybe that's what he was doing with the magnet. It was literally to magnetize people. So when Nuno and I sat down and said, okay, so how are we going to build? Have we got 6 minutes? Wow. How are we going to build this incredible company? We both sat there and said, you know what I really want to create the most? I want to create freedom for everyone. That's freedom in your body, freedom in your mind, freedom to be who you really want to be, financial freedom, whatever that means to you, that's what we really want to create. The vision here, and that's why our name is Levite, is to light up the world so we can create the ultimate human experience for everyone. I truly believe that while Nuno is a genius, I believe every single one of you has a little genius inside of you. All showing up in different ways. For Regan, it's her ability to manifest. For Karina, it's her ability to activate things. For Lolly, it's her ability to bring amazing programs to the world. For David, it's her ability to host incredible, flow summits. Thank you, David. For David, it's to network. Like I've never seen anybody networking with her before. You're incredible at it. And to bring some incredible, impact with your incredible smiles. We've all got incredible gifts inside of us. And I really believe the way that we are actually going to really shift in this world is that people are allowed to bring those gifts and actually share them with the world. To actually light up the world. And so if we can bring their bodies back into this beautiful state of harmony, bioharmony, I know biohack is a really fancy term, but I actually believe the ultimate biohack is bioharmonization. Because to live in harmony, that is the ultimate way to live. You'll see even with our frequencies, it's energy and recovery. Do you know what that is? Oxidation, recovery. It's harmony. That's what we're creating. So this is our vision, to light up the world. For you guys to literally have your lights turned on. And how are we going to do that? By creating the next evolution in technology and wellness. Because yes, we have been speaking a lot about our beautiful world, but there's a lot more that Nuno has downloaded. A lot more. And of course, we are also going to do this in a co-creation. This is not really about me or Nuno. It's actually about all of you. We're bringing this to the world together. We are co-creating this together. For those of you that don't know, we are actually a startup. I opened the doors and allowed people to come into my business, and I allowed them to help me guide this business in the right way. I don't know many other companies that do that. That say, I'm here, I'm not perfect, the company's not going to be perfect, but let's do this together. Let's course correct along the way, and we'll create magic. Because we're going to create exactly what you want. Not what I want, not what Nuno wants, what all of you actually want. And it's also about you. So, in obviously having our incredible bottles and having our incredible affiliate systems and our sharing of abundance that I'll speak to in a minute, we're also creating these communities that are truly creating a revolution. If you haven't looked around, or maybe have a look around, have a look around how beautiful these people are. There are all these incredible, heart-centered, gorgeous people here ready to actually make a shift, to actually make a change. So we're also creating these new communities in a completely new way. We're providing the best education. How are we doing that? We are simply aligning ourselves with the very, very best in the world. The very best in molecular hydrogen, the very best in technology. Whoever is the best out there, and you're going to see, not now, but in our launch, which happens to be in Miami, who some of these incredible partners are. We're creating the best products. We have the most incredible community. of course, we also want to create the most incredible experiences. And true shared abundance. For those of you that haven't yet looked at actually our affiliate plan, it's not really an affiliate plan. It's actually a profit sharing plan. Because while I know that we are on a trajectory for $1 billion, it's not so fun if you just have it all yourself. It's a lot more fun to share it. And so that's why I initially created this plan to give back to all of our community. To give back to all of you, because you're going to help us build this. And I know you're going to give me the most precious thing that you could possibly give me to create this. Your life force. And so I want you to also tap into everything that we are creating too. So where are we now? I've only got 1 minute, gosh. So where are we now and where are we going? Okay, we know that molecular hydrogen is going to be the next $1 billion trend within health and wellness. We know this already. We're uncovering the education piece. If you're not sure why molecular hydrogen actually hasn't been more popular or hasn't been so well known, it's only just emerging now, there's a couple of main factors on that. Education was, people didn't understand what it was. The packaging was a problem. It's the smallest molecule in the world, so it's the sneakiest molecule in the world. You can get out of everything. But there was a third one as well, is that we only now have 2,000 studies on molecular hydrogen. The reason we only now have 2,000 studies on something that has seemed to have improvements for over 170 different diseases is because you can't patent molecular hydrogen. So there's no big funding from big pharma. There's not the money that big pharma want. But there is, we create techniques, and we create different ways of getting hydrogen. We actually had our pre-launch. We are in pre-launch. We haven't even launched this yet. We had our pre-launch on November 7th. Since then, we have attracted 5,000 affiliates. Yeah. I don't even know how. We just keep turning up, people keep turning up. Like, look around you. Not even a week ago, we weren't even meant to be in Miami. And all of a sudden, we filled up a whole room full of all you crazy people. Right now, we're on a trajectory of 35,000 to 50,000 affiliates by the end of the year. Probably, now that we're in Biohack Yourself, I think it's going to be a lot more than that. So we're going to be prepared. We started on November 7th. We have decided that we would aim for 15 million. Right now, we're currently on a trajectory of 20 million for the beginning of our startup. Now, I told you at the beginning of my story that my last project I was in, my personal lineage, we did 70 million in 3 years. That project did 10 million in its first year, 110 million in its second year. So, with no external investment. Louis has no external investment other than myself and Nuno. So what about our second year? Where are we going? At least here. If not more. Well, with Biohack Yourself, if not more. David's mission will at least have 1 million bottles. So we know we're onto something that's really quite magical. We're launching hydrogen to the world in a truly conscious way. We truly care about every aspect of our product, so much so that we bought the factories to make sure that we can control every part of the quality and the safety to ensure that you guys are actually getting what you're paying for, that you're actually getting a high quality, safe product that actually does what we say it does. We're bringing this to the world in a big way and creating a massive movement as we do that. So of course, I've run out of time. So I want to make sure that you get to see Karina's incredible water activation. But our first hero product that we're bringing to the world, that we've already started to, wherever it's gone, where we're starting to bring to the world, is this here, this fusion of hydrogen and frequency. Literally bringing ancient water back to today. Waters that our bodies actually recognize, so they can actually do something with it. Our official launch is in July. And guess what? It's right here in Miami. I'm just going to pop that up and then get rid of it. There we go. Right, those days is when we launched. I think they are. Yeah. So how are we going to do this? Collaborating with the best people. And I even mean the best of all of you. Creating the best products, sourcing the best education, designing a platform to share your genius, to build your freedom, and to light up the world. So let's begin. Okay, now you're in for a treat. Because I've had the joy of hanging out with Karina for the last couple of days. Of course, I get to work with Karina nearly every day. But we landed here in Miami, and this is a perfect example of the kind of magic that Lumite has, the kind of magnetic energy that it creates. Because not even a week ago, we didn't even know we were going to be doing an event. We didn't have a venue, we didn't have anything, we didn't even have any people. We thought maybe we'd do a nice dinner since we happened to be here and invite a few people. And that expanded into this in a really, really short time. But I've had the honor of being with Karina and watching her incredible activations that she does every day. She is also divinely led. She's also really led through this beautiful instinct that you have, that you're really, really tapped in. And it's been so magical to watch. It's been so magical to also watch you step fully into leadership. I'll tell you a little story just before she gets on stage. Today, I was showing her what she's going to earn next year. And she burst into tears. She was like, true story. True story. And actually, we both sat in the cafe crying because realizing, oh my God, we're going to change so many lives. And it's going to be so much fun as we do it. So, you're about to get activated by the incredible Karina Stewart. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys, you're going to have a chance now to experience liquid light. Anyone who has a bottle already, if you could please make sure it's filled up with water. You should have boss water right under your seats. Otherwise, we'll pass it around, make sure you've got it filled up. And you're going to turn on your bottle to 6 minutes of molecular hydrogen. And then the Lumite Vitae frequency.
If anyone needs water for their vessel, we have some good water right here. If you have a bottle, please come up and grab it.
And if you don't have one, don't worry. Make sure you've got your cup that you got when you came in. So your seat, we'll be using that in a moment. So 6 minutes molecular nitrogen and the Lumite Vitae frequency running. Okay, you guys, are we ready to activate the water, to activate your possibility? If you are, say yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I want everyone to close their eyes. And you're going to drop down into your heart. And just allow your breath to anchor right into that sweet space, right into your heart. Breathing in and out through your heart. And inside your heart, there's this space that I call the honey in the heart. It is a sweetness, it is a nectar. In fact, it is where the infinite waters exist within you, and the infinite waters that exist within each and every one of us that runs through us. Breathe down into that space in your heart. We're going to open a space here. This is the portal of liquid light. It's opening above us and it's dropping down this beautiful liquid light and beginning to pour down over your head and into your body and activating that space right in the center of your heart. Activating these waters within that maybe you haven't known these waters in a long time, but you remember. And now as you're breathing in and out, you begin to breathe the liquid light. And it's beginning to move into every cell. And just breathe this now all the way down into the earth. As this portal of liquid light that has dropped down over you is now anchoring down into the earth and into the crystalline heart center of the earth. And we're going to connect now to the crystalline waters. These are the source waters that are below the surface of the earth. And just feel those anchored down below your feet. And with each breath, just breathing into the body, these source waters. As you take a beautiful, giant breath of water into the body. And now we're going to connect to the cosmic waters, this flood, this wave of cosmic waters that is pouring over the earth, and just open the crown chakra and go all the way up and just allow this beautiful light and water that has come in from the surface of the earth and all the way up and out as we connect into deep cosmic space. And now we connect to the waters of the universe, the waters of the divine. And now breathe that down into the body. Just breathe it down. And then we come back to the heart. And all of us that are holding this liquid light now in our hands, from our heart to the hearts of all those that are sitting in the seats, let's begin to activate the liquid light waters that are in the vessels and pour it over each and every person that is here, that has come to experience this frequency, this divinity, these waters. Flooding the space with liquid light. We begin to see this crystalline energy beginning to pour in and beginning to break through spaces within you that maybe haven't been broken through before, these limitations to your wealth, to your abundance, to your health. These waters are now awakening infinite possibilities within you. And each and every one of you came here for a reason, for a purpose. You're not here by accident. I want you to breathe into your heart and into those waters now and ask the waters, why? Why am I here? Why now? Why this space? Why these people? Why am I here? Maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's a knowing, maybe it's a sign, a symbol, a message, a code, a frequency. Whatever that reason is, send it out into the collective waters in this space. And now, I want you to open your eyes and look at the beautiful souls that are surrounding you in this circle here. These are the torchbearers, those that have come to bring light, to bring the source waters back, and to activate infinite possibilities in each and every one of you. And if you would like to sample and try the water, we invite you to join us in the liquid light. So just put your hand up with your cup, and we'll come around and we'll pour, and then we'll drink together. Okay. If you still need some, just keep your cup up. We're doing our best. We realize we may not be able to give some to everyone. We're doing our best. Does anyone still have water they can give? If your neighbor has a little extra water, maybe pour it into their cup. It's activated. You guys, we've activated. Pour it in the cups. Okay. So I want you to take the cup and just put it at your heart. Just put it right at your heart, everybody. Put it right at your heart. And remember why you're here. Your heart knows. Just close your eyes with that intention. Bring the light and abundance, healing, possibility. Imprint your water. And when you're ready, take a sip. And I invite you to close your eyes as you take a sip. And then drink it all down. And just let it move into the body. Move into the energy of you. Shifting you, elevating you, opening you to a bigger body. How do you feel? Everyone want to just share a word? It's like one word. What do you feel when you drink the water? Just shout it out.
Elevated.
Elevated. Awesome. Light. What was that? Vibrational. Shout out a word. What do you feel when you drink the water? Clear? Clear. Love. Uplifted.
Grateful.
Grateful. Powerful. Come on, you guys. London, keep it going. Go, go, go. Happy. Lunatic, light of life.
Flow.
Flow. You guys, I want you to imagine, you had a little sip, one sip. The first time I drank from the bottle, just like this massive heart opening and this light dropped in, and what I can tell you is, I realized why I was here. And I had been on a journey of my purpose for years. But I realized that my life is about to change, and that all of you were a part of it. And so I want you to look to the person next to you, look them in the eyes, connect with their heart, connect with their love. Because we are all here to do this together. So I'm going to invite up my co-host, Colette. And actually, we can put the lights back up to the blue, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here and sharing this evening with us. I can't put words for how I feel when I drink the light. I remember the first time that I drank it. It just felt like this theme just shooting straight up and connecting me and reminding me that this was the real reason and bringing me back to basic natural ways of living. Everyone needs to have this experience.
So you guys, we're building a movement. And this movement is not only about this technology that changes our body, brings health to us, but we are about to activate a wave. It's called the 80 Days. We ask you to join us, not only to revive the ancient waters within you, but to bring others along, to become abundant together, to change the world together. So how do you do that? Someone invited you here. You got here because someone cares about you. You got here because someone sees another possibility for you, a next level for you. So the way that you join us, if you want one of these beautiful liquid light vessels and to come on this ride, this $1 billion ride with us, is to go back to that person who invited you here and let them know that you're ready. Let them know you're curious. Let them know you have questions. Wherever you are after this evening, just tap them. You know, if it was Regan Hillier, if it was Wampa, if it was me, Carrie, Taryn, Colette, send us a message. Maybe it was on Instagram. Send a direct message. That's it. And we'll tell you how to get started and how to join us.
Well, I mean, do you guys feel activated? I tell you what, when I got activated from Regan at Wampa, when I was in Madeira in November, was like nothing I've ever experienced before. And to be in the caliber and space with these people and these individuals, it's a driving force. It really can change the whole trajectory of your life, whether that's physical health or whether that's bringing more abundance for your family. And I'm just being up here to speak and to share all of this with you is something that I could never have done if it wasn't for the moment we had tomorrow. So, if something resonated with you all today, I hope that you get to come with us on this journey and be part of this wave that we're creating.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here, and we can't wait to be in this movement with you. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.